Every time ILoveLucy flickers back onto our screens, it feels like more than just a rerun. It feels like stepping into a time capsule, a moment frozen in black and white, where laughter was louder, love was loud, and families gathered around the glow of the television like it was firelight. For millions, Lucy's antics are about joy, but for some, they're also about memory, about sitting beside a grandparent who laughed until tears rolled down their cheeks, about hearing your mother quote Vitamin A to Vagaman at breakfast, about knowing that no matter how much trouble Lucy got into, she'd be back next week, ready to cause chaos all over again. The brilliance of the show wasn't just in Lucille Ball's fearless physical comedy or Desi Arnaz's smooth charm as Ricky. It was in how it mirrored real life, couples bickering, friends scheming, dreams of stardom. It felt familiar, like watching Neighbours, like glimpsing ourselves. And for those who grew up with the show, each episode carries an echo, the sound of a living room filled with laughter, the warmth of family gathered together, the comfort of knowing that even when things went wrong, love always won in the end. 70 years later, the images still sparkle with warmth. ILoveLucy endures because it offers more than comedy, it offers comfort, a sense of belonging, and the rare gift of taking us home to a time when the world seemed gentler and joy came easily. But behind the laughter, there was another story, one not told in reruns, not written into scripts. It's the story of what happens after the credits roll, after the cameras stop rolling, after the audience goes home. It's the story of Desi Arnaz Jr., the boy born into legend. From the moment he took his first breath on January 19, 1953, Desi Jr. wasn't just a child, he was a sensation. Dubbed the 50 million baby by the press, his arrival coincided with one of the most watched episodes in television history, the night Lucy Ricardo gave birth to little Ricky. Over 71% of American TVs were tuned in. More people watched that night than saw President Eisenhower sworn into office the next day. And in that instant, Desi Jr. became a symbol not just of a new life, but of America's favorite TV family. But fame has two sides. One is dazzling. The other is heavy. For most children, growing up means schoolyard games, birthday parties, and learning how to ride a bike. For Desi Arnaz Jr., childhood unfolded under the blinding glare of Hollywood spotlights. His name carried expectations far beyond what any teenager could imagine. His parents weren't just famous, they were pioneers. Lucille Ball, the funniest woman in America. Desi Arnaz, the Cuban band leader who revolutionized television. Together, they built ILoveLucy, a show that changed everything. When CBS said Americans wouldn't believe Lucy married to a foreign man, they fought back. They took their act on tour, performing a vaudeville skit called The Professor, which proved their chemistry was undeniable. And when sponsors demanded live broadcasts from New York, Desi refused. Instead, he insisted on filming with 3 cameras, right here in Los Angeles, so he could stay close to his family. That decision made history. Multi-camera sitcoms? Born here. High-quality film preservation? Pioneered here. Ownership of their own show? Through Desolate Productions, Lucy and Desi became the first millionaire TV stars and set the stage for syndication as we know it. Even small details were legends in the making. Only Lucy could make fun of Ricky's accent, anyone else's jokes fell flat. Smoking was required because Philip Morris sponsored the show, though Lucy secretly used Chesterfields. William Frawley was cast as Fred Mertz only after Gail Gordon turned it down, and under one condition: one missed day for drinking, and he's gone. Vivian Vance played Ethel, though she resented being paired with a man 22 years older, calling him names off camera. Yet on screen, pure magic. And then there was Desi SRS pride hidden in plain sight. He wore 4-inch lifts in his shoes. A cushion was added to the love seat so he'd look taller while sitting. Because in Latin culture, the man must stand tall. When Ricky was asked to cheat on his taxes in a script, Desi refused. "I won't have Ricky cheating the US government," he said. He fled Cuba with nothing, cleaned bird cages to survive, and believed in the American dream too deeply. And when Lucy danced the tango with eggs hidden in her blouse and they exploded, the audience laughed for 65 seconds straight. So long, editors had to cut some out. But perhaps the most touching detail: that soft you hear whenever Lucy gets into trouble? That was Dee Ball, Lucille's mother, sitting in the audience every week. Her voice lived on for decades, echoing through laugh tracks on shows she never even saw. These weren't just quirks. They were proof of a show made with heart, perfectionism, and soul. And now, back to Desi Jr., born the same night as little Ricky, raised in a home where every room echoed with creativity and pressure. His mother, fiercely protective, wanted him and his sister Lucy to have a normal life. She shielded them from the harsher sides of Hollywood. No red carpets, no paparazzi, just family dinners and backyard games. But normalcy is hard when your face is already part of history. Every role he played, every public appearance, invited comparison not just to his father, but to an entire era built on the Ball-Arnaz empire. As he grew older, Desi Jr. spoke openly about the duality of his life. Yes, doors opened because of his name, but walking through them meant carrying a legacy that wasn't entirely his own. To some, he was a talented actor and musician starring in films like The Karate Kid Part 2 and Patriot Games. To others, he would always be Lucy's boy. Was he protected by fame or crushed by its weight? Perhaps the truth lies in between. Lucille's love gave him strength, but her towering shadow shaped how the world saw him. And when she passed away in 1989, the finality of that loss settled deep. In 1992, he played his father, Desi Arnaz, in The Mambo Kings, a role that brought him closer to the man he admired but struggled to understand. Later, he helped produce documentaries about his parents honoring their genius, even as he carved his own path. Tragedy followed him too. His wife Amy died of cancer in 2015. He lost his daughter, Desiree Julia's daughter, to breast cancer. Loss, it seems, touched every branch of this family tree. Yet still, the legacy lives on through Lucille's work, through Kate Luckenbull preserving the Desi brand, through fans who keep the laughter alive. Because I Love Lucy was never just a title. As Desi once said, and as Desi Jr. knows better than anyone, I Love Lucy was never just a title, it was a promise, a bond, a shared heartbeat between two people who loved too much, too loudly, and too truly to ever let go even in death. And for Desi Arnaz Jr., that love was both a gift and a burden, a crown he never asked for, but carried with dignity. So the next time you watch Lucy try to hide wine bottles in a closet, or dance and grape juice up to her neck, remember, behind the laughter, there's a human story of triumph, of pain, of a son who spent his life trying to live up to a name while quietly becoming himself. Subscribe to Hollywood Reminders, where the classics don't just entertain. They remind us of who we are, where we came from, and why we still laugh.